What's up, fandoms? It's me, Mr. Darklight.
And me, Bash and Brain.
And this is our Halloween bash. And today, we are watching Rob Zombie's Halloween. The movie that no one didn't like, but me and Bash actually really love. I think the reason why we love it is because the story and the psychological in the mind. When Rob Zombie really got into this film, he really loved the John Carpenter Halloween. He really wanted to get to the history of how Michael became Michael Myers, how he had a family, how he had a stepdad he hated. The stepsister, he didn't want to take him trick-or-treating. He takes the dad. He ends up murdering the boyfriend and the sister, and then leaving the baby by itself. We really get into the second line, into it. But Bash, what you thought about that film?
So honestly, I love it. Rob Zombie, his take, he moved it from. So if you watch the original John Carpenter Halloween, the first one from 1979. He moved, so what Rob Zombie did was move the timeline from the early 60s, he moved it to somewhere in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do like everything. He changed it up. He gave a little bit, like, psychological, just like Mr. Darklight said, broken home, the dad's, injured, he's
handicapped.
He's handicapped.
The
he's
mom's a stripper.
The mom's a stripper.
Yeah, the mom's a stripper. YouTube, do not demonetize us. That's what actually happened.
It's a movie.
The daughter's really hot. I'm sorry, we gotta say that as well. Rob Zombie went all on it. Plus, Rob Zombie's wife actually plays the mother in this film.
Yeah.
That was really surprised that I even said
that. I did not know.
I was like, yeah, for real. Like, when it's a Rob Zombie film when the wife is in the film. You know that for sure. You see Michael Myers going through all the bullying, especially at home and at school. And you see more in detail why he getting that. He kills his pet rat. He tells his mom that he needs a new rat because the rat died. But AKA, we all know that he killed the rat. The dad's making fun of him, calling him. Just so that you guys know, there is some kind of
he calls him
words. I'm not gonna say on YouTube. I'm not gonna defend anyone. I'm not gonna defend anyone. Like, not defend. What do you mean? Like, make fun of people. He calls them the
homosexual F word.
Yeah, he calls them that. He says that, all that stuff. So it makes sense why he killed his stepdad and he took his time with it. You go really crazy. Rob Zombie goes fast on here, bro. It's like you feel like the whole story of his background is long. But it's not. It's like probably around 45 minutes of it until you get to the real details of it. But the movie's really great. I loved it. I love how you really get into the mind of Michael Myers, and you don't really see that in John Carpenter. You just see here Michael Myers here. He kills this person. He kills that person. But he goes all out. He really has a heart. I think that's what Rob Zombie was trying to do. He was trying to make us feel like
this person started off as a regular person.
And I think that's what people didn't like about it, because it's like, oh, well, Michael Myers is not supposed to be that kind of guy where you should be rooting for. But that's what this film was about. Even in the climax, when they went to the climax, we already started way of, Danny Torito, who's the janitor of this place. He's really being friends with Michael, trying to treat him right. He even tells him, hey, I've been in these walls before and they made me go crazy, but I'm here for you. And you see how everything that he's going through to this hospital, and how he's really become. He was talking and speaking, and now he's making masses and hiding his face because he calls himself ugly. His mom said he's not ugly, but the thing is that's what happens when you're going through all this trauma. It's really trauma. He doesn't even remember the kills or anything, and once he snaps, he's not going to come back, and that's what this film was all about. I think that's what I liked about Rob Zombie Halloween. You really think about the psychological thought of it instead of just seeing it. And I understand why people didn't like it. Dr. Loomis dies. I think that's what everyone didn't like about Dr. Loomis. He's supposed to continue more into it. The killings were just straight. They went to the point once they hit the climax. Rob Zombie knew. Here's the boyfriend. They're in the house. The cheerleader and the boyfriend go to the house, and they're doing their nasties. And they're doing their nasties, and she's like, "Oh, give me a beer." And then he goes get a beer. There's no beer. He's in the balcony just watching them.
And they don't even notice
They
him.
don't even know. Like, come on, dude. If you're parked in that driveway, you see the balcony. Come on, dude. You would see a tall dude.
Straight down.
You see a 7-foot tall dude. Like, I think that guy was 7 foot. To be honest with you, a big dude. Like, come on, dude. I would have saw him right away. I'd be like, oh no, about this. Like, I see this tall dude right here in the balcony. And then Larry, when they're doing the nasties, is at the sister's room. I didn't realize that until we saw it. I was like, oh shit, they're in the sister's room.
Repeating again.
It's like PTSD to him. It's like everything's like repeating, like back forward. And then he kills the best friend that was the friend of the sheriff. She survived, surprisingly, because normally in the original she didn't survive. She actually really died. But this time when they go to the house, it's like she survived. It was like, wow. I was like actually really surprised about that. I think Rob Zombie wanted to at least like focus on the sister part.
Yeah.
Because like he's like showing her the photo. And she's like, she doesn't even know. She was just a baby. Like, she doesn't know anything. When you're 2, you're not going to remember all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. And I like to put in a point. Okay. If anybody were to look at the timeline, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Halloween, especially being a Rob Zombie version of Halloween.
Yeah.
I love Rob Zombie movies. I love his music. But the timeline is really off.
Yeah.
Because...
We were just talking about that when we were watching the film as well. You were like, bro, like, the
upset.
timeline you were really upset about it. Like, you told me, like, bro, the timeline doesn't make any sense. It's not. Because it was supposed to be in the 70s.
No, well, it started in the 70s as
Yeah.
him as a kid. And they said, basically, forward...
15 years. They went 15 years.
15 years in the future. So let's say... So the style of the closing I was seeing and everything, it was like mid-70s. We're talking maybe 75, 76, or 77. Let's put it at 77.
Mm-hmm.
Add 15 years to that. 15 years to that, it will put somewhere in the early 90s.
Yes.
The timeline is really... What is it? You add 10 years, it's 1987. Add 5 years, that puts it at what? 1992. Puts it at 1992. But that doesn't make sense because when they show the sheriff talking to Dr. Loomis, they say...
He has a flip phone.
He has a flip phone?
Well, he's talking to the guy who owns the cemetery, not the police.
Yeah.
The cemetery guy. Like the scene in the original, they go to the cemetery to see the Michael Myers, grave, and they saw that there was like a dead animal with a cross on it. But when we saw him opening the flip phone, we were like, dog, that can't be the 90s or the 70s or the 80s or anything. Like, it has to be around 2004 or 2005.
You know what was the best wrong giveaway? And it was not a mix-up. All the cars, and usually in movies where they're trying to do a scene, if it's supposed to be the 70s, 80s, or 90s, they will put the right car.
Yeah. The
cars were anywhere from late 90s to early 2000s. The police car was a 2004 Crown Victoria.
Yeah.
There was so many new model cars. There's like a 2005 BMW. There's Range Rovers. I'm like, these are all like early 2000s cars. I'm like, this does not make sense. And also, the other thing is, Laurie, they're saying Laurie, which her name is now Laurie Strode, but originally Laurie Myers, they put her, that she was basically a baby in 1977. Let's put it in 1977. I forgot the timeline. They didn't put it.
They didn't really put a year on the timeline. If anything, we should really know it was like around the 70s.
Yeah.
Around the mid 70s, I think. But she was like 2. At least like 2. She
put
wasn't 3
2.
yet because she wasn't walking yet.
She was
like at least like 2. Like she turned 2.
And they said she was already graduating. I was like, okay, she's 2 plus 15 years.
She's graduating high school.
It should be 1992, but nothing matches up. And and then they're talking about he just broke out last night. I'm like,
this timeline doesn't make sense though, because
15 plus 1977 makes
because they skipped another year for him to escape, but yet it's the same night.
Yeah.
That he's going out there, and it should be like at least around the 90s at this point.
And it's not.
But
new hairstyles, flip phones. Come on.
Cars, everything, like bro, like
that was a Motorola. Yeah. The Dr. Loomis had a Motorola Razor.
Yeah. And then the trailer had the phone that you literally you dial and you just call. I think it was like I forgot the name of the phone, but it's like
Like a Nokia.
a Nokia. Yeah, Nokia. There you go. It's like a Nokia. It's like this has to be 2005,
Somewhere.
2004, 2005, somewhere around there. I think I don't know. I don't want to say that's the big thing that everyone had a problem with. I don't think so. I think the problem was that Dr. Loomis died,
Yeah.
and that when he jumps on Murray in the balcony scene, they're both knocked out. She wakes up and she shoots him. She's not even clicking the gun.
She's not putting the trigger back. She's like.
She's just. And it's not automatic. It's not even the guy who even sold the gun to Dr. Loomis was like, hey, this is not automatic. You actually have to like hit it back. But the whole entire time, and then he dies, and then that's how the film ends. It's like that's how it ends. I think with Rob Zombie, he wanted to hit the main points, but the thing is like I get why people were upset with it. Not a lot of people are not gonna like it. But if you're a new upcomer to Halloween and this is your first time seeing it, you're gonna love it. Yeah. I think people always ask me the question like, why do you love Rob Zombie Halloween instead of the original? I was like, I love both. I love that Rob Zombie can remake a film and put it in modern day. I love that he can do that, and you think more because with a Rob Zombie horror film, you think more psychologically, more than anything else. And to me, it's a great film, and that's what we wanted to do, especially for this Halloween. We wanted to do something like this. I told Bash that I really want to do Rob Zombie Halloween. We really loved it.
Dude, I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie. Like I already explained, his music, his movies, we love his his
very
stuff, man.
He's a great musician, director, and writer. He directed and wrote this film too, so it's really meant a lot. But yeah, this is our video for Rob Zombie Halloween. Hope you guys enjoy it. I hope everyone has a great Halloween. I hope everyone has a great year. We're almost there for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We're almost there for those holidays. Wait for the holiday videos to come. We will be bringing more. But like I said, I'm Mr. Dr. Light.
And Bash Brains.
And we see you guys next time, guys. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Thank you.